How are you doing today? Oh, don't hold back. Be honest, not broken. Exhausted? Worn to the core. That's okay, diamonds are only born under crushing pressure. And you, my friend, are about to radiate brilliance in ways they never saw coming. This world, it thrives on mockery, doesn't it? They love a cruel laugh at someone else's expense. When you stumbled, they roared. When you broke, they jeered. Your pain was their entertainment. Your struggle was their punchline. They took your scars and used them to patch their fragile egos, thinking you'd always stay shattered, stay small. But here's the plot twist they never anticipated: every insult, every betrayal, every smug laugh, they weren't breaking you. No, they were sharpening you, feeding you. Every cruel word was fuel. Every mocking gaze was a spark. They didn't see it, but they were forging something unrelenting. You became a storm they can't contain, a force that breathes power, a reckoning they'll never escape. Oh, they found it funny when you called for help and no one came, didn't they? When you stood alone, trembling in the face of the world's indifference. Their laughter echoed like knives, cutting deep, slicing through your soul. But here's the truth about laughter: it's fragile. It crumbles the second fear grips the heart. The moment realization dawns that the one they ridiculed has risen higher than they ever dreamed. They thought you were a footnote in their story, but you've rewritten the entire narrative. Now, they lie awake at night, haunted. Your shadow fills every corner of their lives. Your voice, once dismissed, now echoes in the silence, louder than they can bear. The punchline of their joke. It's become the noose tightening around their pride. Do you remember how their laughter rang out? How it pierced your spirit? Hold on to that memory, not to wallow in it, but to fuel your fire. Because now their laughter has turned to whispers. Their arrogance has crumbled into fear. They talk about you with trembling lips, their eyes darting, searching for answers they'll never find. How did they survive? How did they rise? How did we miss their power, they wonder? Oh, they didn't see you because they never truly looked. They saw a victim, a toy, a stepping stone for their egos. But you saw through the masks. You exposed the insecurities hiding behind their cruelty. Now they stand bare, trembling, stripped of their illusions. Here's the sweet irony: they built you into this. Their words, they were bricks. Their mockery, the mortar, and their underestimation, that was the foundation. Now they're trapped in the walls they built, clawing for escape, only to find there is none, not from you, not from the storm you've become. You didn't just survive, you thrived. Not out of spite, but because their betrayal became your strength. Their cruelty became your clarity. You didn't let their laughter define you. You let it forge you into something unstoppable. Every step you take, every victory you claim, it's a reminder of the nightmare they created but never saw coming. It wasn't easy. Let's not sugarcoat it. Your path was paved with anguish, sleepless nights, and broken dreams. You faced a darkness so consuming it tried to devour you. Yet here you are, not just alive, but blazing with purpose. You're not a victim. You're not merely a survivor. You're a force that demands attention, a presence that refuses to be ignored. They fear you now, not just for what you've become, but because you're a mirror. You reflect the consequences of their actions, the weight of their sins. You are their reckoning, their living karma. And karma doesn't arrive gently, it storms in. Unrelenting, unforgiving. You don't need to seek revenge. You don't need to lift a finger. Your existence is punishment enough. Every breath you take, every success you earn, every time you rise, it's a dagger to their fragile egos. Their laughter has died, replaced by silence and regret. So stand tall. Let them see the truth. You're not the broken soul they mocked. You're the relentless storm they feared. Let them choke on their fear, drown in their shame. This is your story now. And in your story, their laughter will never rise again. But let's not stop there, shall we? Because your rise isn't just a story of survival, it's a declaration. A roaring testament to the power of resilience. They thought their whispers of doubt would break you, that their smirking condescension would bury you. But what they fail to understand is this: you don't bury the indomitable. You plant it. And from that soil of ridicule and scorn, you've grown into something they'll never escape. You are everywhere now, in their thoughts. in their regrets. In their regret spaces they once filled with smug confidence. Every attempt to rebuild their fragile egos is met with the haunting presence of your success. Every time they try to laugh again, they choke on the memory of how wrong they were. Oh, the irony. Their arrogance crafted a monument, but not to their glory, to your triumph. Their laughter was the chisel, their betrayal the hammer, carving out a legacy they'll never erase. Now they stand at the foot of it, dwarfed by the very power they tried to diminish. And here's the most beautiful part: you didn't rise out of hatred or vengeance. No, you rose because you refused to let their pettiness define you. You became more not because of them, but in spite of them. You didn't just claw your way out of the darkness. You shattered it. You became the light they can't look away from, no matter how much it burns. So now, as they scramble to make sense of what's become of their so-called dominance, let them. Let them wrestle with their guilt, their shame, their regret. Let them stumble over the rubble of their illusions, the ruins of their own making. Because you owe them nothing, not your pity, not your forgiveness, certainly not your time. You've become a storm they can't contain, a force they can't diminish, and every day you move forward is another reminder that the weak don't stay weak, that the underestimated don't stay small. You are living proof that the fire inside a person is more powerful than any storm outside of them. So how does it feel now? To stand tall, to be unbroken, to watch as the people who mocked you are now haunted by the very shadow of your existence. It feels like justice. It feels like balance. It feels like destiny has spoken, and it's spoken your favor. Let them cower. Let them run. Let them try to rewrite the narrative. It won't matter. Because your story isn't theirs to tell. It's yours, every chapter, every word, every triumph. And you're just getting started. Oh, but the story isn't over yet, is it? No, this is just the beginning. Because the power you hold now isn't fleeting, it's eternal. It's a legacy carved into the very fabric of their memories, a force that ripples through the lives of everyone who doubted you. They may try to move on, try to forget. But how do you forget a storm that reshaped your entire world? They'll walk through life with a shadow hanging over them, a reminder that they underestimated the wrong person. Every step they take, every corner they turn, they'll wonder if you're there watching, waiting, thriving. Their arrogance forged the chains, and now those chains bind them to their regrets, their failures, their blindness. But here's the twist they never saw coming: you're not even looking back. That's the true punishment, isn't it? That you've moved forward unstoppable, untouchable, leaving them to stew in the wreckage of their own making. They're left chasing ghosts, while you're chasing greatness. And oh, how greatness suits you. Every success you achieve is a roaring crescendo in the symphony of your rise. Every step you take reverberates like thunder, shaking the very ground they once stood so proudly on. You've become a living legend, not just in their eyes, but in the eyes of everyone who has ever known struggle. Because your victory isn't just for you. It's for everyone who's ever been mocked, doubted, or cast aside. You are the beacon for those still in the dark, the proof that rising above isn't a fantasy, it's a reality waiting to be claimed. And that, my friend, is where your true power lies. So let the world watch. Let them see what resilience looks like, what unshakable determination feels like. Let them witness the transformation of someone they thought was weak into a force they cannot comprehend. This isn't revenge, it's revelation. You are the roar that silences the echoes of doubt, the storm that clears the skies for those who come after, the relentless proof that the greatest victories are born in the deepest struggles. And as for them, let them remain trapped in their self-made prisons. Let their laughter be replaced by the deafening silence of regret. Because you have no time for the past. You're too busy building a future so bright, it blinds everyone who doubted you. Now, tell me, how does it feel to be unstoppable? To rise from the ashes they tried to bury you in? To hold your head high as they cower in the shadows? It feels like victory, doesn't it? Not just any victory, a victory, a victory. A victory deserved, a victory that will echo through time. And this is only the prologue. The best is yet to come.